Welcome to the Qargo Training Academy. Here at the Academy, you can find answers to some of our most frequently asked questions. Introductory training videos for new Qargo users and how to set up and use some of the more advanced features of the software. Let's get rolling and see what is on the agenda today. When doing business with Pallet Networks, setting up rate cards for the variety of pricing models can be quite a task. Today, we will look at one of the most frequently used pricing models across the different Pallet networks and use this to generate the transport charge on an order. Once the transport charge is set up on the rate card, any additional charges can be added. For instance, fuel surcharges or extras based on priority services or stops. Let's get started. Transport charges based on locations are often determined by postcodes or zones, which can be made up of either specific postcodes or postcode ranges. As well as location, this pricing model will look at the quantity of goods ordered based on the total number of pallet spaces occupied. The transport charge for this order, therefore, is based on the delivery location postcode and the total number of pallet spaces occupied. Let's build a new price list. First, let's navigate to the Rates menu and select the Rate Card Customer submenu. Here, you will see a list of all the transport services you offer. You can expand each transport service to see the individual rate cards created. This is where you can open the individual cards and make any edits necessary. We are going to create a new rate card, so we will go ahead and click on Create Price List. Next, let's select the transport service we want to create our new price list under. Now we can start to build the price list details. First, we need to give it a name. It's a good idea to use something that allows you to easily identify the price list, like any customers it might be for, or if there are specific details. For this example, we are going to be building a generic network price list that has prices based on delivery location and pallet spaces. There, this name should help me identify it easily when looking through the list. Next, I'll set the valid from date. The default date will always revert to the current date. Let's save the general information and move on to adding the pricing parameters. Each new price list will automatically have a transport charge, so we can simply click the edit icon, this little pencil here, and begin to add our charge parameters. First, I can set my charge to be valid for a specific time frame. For instance, if I routinely update pricing, I can create these prices to all have a valid from and to date. And by clicking Add Collection, I can quickly copy and update the charge, selecting the appropriate action. For this example, let's just set the valid from date. We'll match my price list and move on to adding the calculations. Remember, for my price list, I need to consider two separate pricing metrics: delivery location and pallet spaces. To do this, I'll need to use the calculation method price table. This will let me build out a table with all the separate pricing details. Next, I'll say how I want that price to show. In this case, it will be a fixed amount based on rates that I'm going to enter in the table. Now I have the option showing to edit price table. This is where I can enter all the price data and build my table. Okay, let's build our price table. There are options for up to 3 columns, but we just need 2, one for the delivery locations and one for the pallet spaces. For the delivery locations, I'm going to select route and stops. This is going to look to the stop locations specifically. Next, I'll select postcode area, which includes country. And for this example, I am going to simply look at the postcode prefix, so the beginning letters only. This will give me all the postcode options in that area. Next, we will select the filter type as starts with to further clarify the postcode. Finally, we are going to only look to the last delivery in the order, and this will be the postcode that is used. You will see the column now shows on the right, and it might be tempting to start entering your data. Do not do this. Your data will be deleted as you must add the columns first. So we have our delivery location metrics, and now we have to add the pallet spaces. I will need a new column for this. So under column 2, we will select our next metric. For this, we will select goods ordered and by total pallet spaces. I also need to add the filter type, and as this price list includes ranges, we will use the between option. This will let me set a start and end point for each range. When using the filter type between, you will notice 2 options. End exclusive does not include the last value, while end inclusive does. For example, because we are using end exclusive, the range 1 to 3 will only include up to 2. Now I have my metrics table complete. I can enter my specific data. I'll add the country and postcode prefix, followed by the pallet space ranges that the pricing is based on. Why not take a quick break and I'll get these added. All right then, we have most of the details added. Let's just add one last postcode and the final number of pallet spaces. Now we have all the metrics added. The last step is to add the rates. Click on the Rates tab and there is a new table. This one includes the metrics from the previous page. We can see the postcodes on the left and the pallet space ranges across the top. All that is left is to add the individual rates to each tier. Here's a little tip. If you have rates that apply to more than one section, you can copy them by clicking and dragging the red frame around all the fields that you want to copy the rate to. Okay, now we have all our rates entered. Let's make sure we click OK and be sure to click Save on the price list screen. If you did not make the price list applicable to all customers, you will need to link the completed price list to your customer so you can begin to use it. Click Link New Customer and select the customer you want to add to the price list. You'll note the valid from date here is the date of the price list, not the current date. And there you have it! A new price list that will create the transport charge for your network customer based on the delivery postcode and the number of pallet spaces. Let's build an order and validate that the price list is correct. Remember, our orders will rate based on the delivery location postcode and the number of pallet spaces ordered. In order for the rate to apply, the last delivery must have a postcode that is included in our rate table. Let's complete this order. Here we can see the order has rated £100 based on the last delivery postcode, starting with CT and 12 pallet spaces. Let's see what happens if I change this to a different delivery location. We can see the price has changed now and is based on the different tier rate associated to the new location postcode. We also have the variable for the number of pallet spaces ordered, so watch what happens when I change the number of spaces. As you can see, the new table is working as we would expect, pulling the rates through based on both the final delivery location and the number of pallet spaces. So there you have it! We have created the new price list using a price table that included 2 metrics, delivery postcodes, and the number of spaces. And we have built the order to validate the price list is correct. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed learning a little more about Qargo. Check out the Qargo user manual for more videos and articles and learn what other features can benefit you.